Goldie and welcome back to my channel. I hope you like my new backdrop. Just want to try something new out for a change. So today I want to do another guide to cosplay masquerade video. The last one I did basically covered the final portion of the masquerade process, which is the masquerade itself. However, there was one aspect that I didn't cover, and in hindsight I probably should have covered first, and that is, what are the rules of masquerades? So that is what this video is going to be about today, but before we get started, I want to put out a quick disclaimer. This video should not be treated as the be-all, end-all guide to the rules of masquerade. Every masquerade is run differently, so please check your masquerade rules first and foremost. Alright, with that being said, let's get started! Alright, so the first part I want to talk about is the general housekeeping, and this is pretty universal for every masquerade that I've ever been to. The first being that you must be an attendee at the convention as well as hold a convention badge. The second being that you can only appear on stage one time, so you can't, enter solo and then go into a group. That's not how it works. You can only enter one time. You must also be prepared to put in the commitment that is necessary for the masquerade. This does not only include making your costume, but also attending any meetings, turning in any paperwork, as well as the masquerade itself. The last thing about general housekeeping is in regards to minors that are entering the masquerade. If you are a minor, you may need to involve your parent or guardian in some way, shape, or form, and this can mean anything from just signing any paperwork all the way up to you need to be accompanied by a parent or guardian. Again, check your masquerade rules to know exactly what your masquerade will allow. Alright, so my second section is going to be on group sizes. Again, every masquerade is different, but generally 10 is the maximum number of people you can have for a group. And for the record, if you have stage ninjas for your skit, they do count as part of your group number. As for handlers, I haven't really seen too many rules that indicate that you need to include them in your group size. But again, that may also depend on the number of handlers you need. Alright, so section 3 is going to be on the costume rules. The area that will differentiate the most between convention to convention is the source materials that are allowed to enter. Some may allow you to enter from any source material imaginable. Others may limit it to a certain genre or even a certain series. But then again, the conventions that I've entered in have been pretty flexible about that, so who am I to know? The rest of these costume rules are pretty universal otherwise. All costumes meet, as ALA puts it, beach legal. But then again, if you're wearing a costume that's not considered beach legal, then how the hell did you even make it into the masquerade? Or walk around in public for that matter. In addition, any props you're carrying must follow the convention's weapons policy. Again, you can check your convention rules for that, but the general gist of it, don't bring real weapons to the con. Moving on to craftsmanship requirements, your costume must either be mostly made from scratch or put together from a bunch of pre-made items with at least one item being significantly altered. If your costume was bought or rented, one of three things could happen. Either one, you will be allowed to enter for performance awards, but no craftsmanship awards. 2, you'll be allowed to enter for an exhibition category, but you won't be able to compete for any prizes. Or 3, you won't be allowed to compete at all. And finally, the last section I want to talk about for costuming is the sandbagging policy. I briefly covered this in another video, but basically, sandbagging is the act of entering one costume in multiple conventions to rack up as many awards as possible. Again, every convention will have different ideas of what sandbagging is and whether they're allowed or not, so if you're unsure about it, I would ask the coordinators. Alright, so section 4 is going to be on performance rules. Usually, you'll be given a time limit as to how long a performance can be, which can range between 1 minute all the way up to 3 minutes. Again, just depends on your masquerade. All content on stage must be PG, so basically no cursing or nothing explicitly sexual. This is an all ages event, so they want to make sure that it is all ages friendly. Any stage effects that you want to do must be easy to clean and not leave a mess on stage. This is to not only give the stagehands less work to do, it'll also prevent any messes getting onto other people's costumes. Some things that are not allowed at all on masquerades are pyrotechnics, open flames, interacting with the judges, or audience interactions. And finally, if you're bringing any set pieces on stage, they may be subjected to weight and height restrictions. Alright, we've covered the basic rules. Now let's go to section 5, which is how to register. There are two ways conventions run their masquerade registration: online and on-site. Online registration is usually done a couple of months before the masquerade. You'll go online, fill out a form, usually with your name, contact information, and what you're planning on entering, and then you turn that in. On-site registration, on the other hand, is usually done either the day before or the day of the masquerade. You come in person, you fill out the form in person, and you turn it in person. Some conventions will do one or the other. Others will do online registration first, and if there's any slots left, they will then open up to on-site registration. Either way though, it is on a first come, first served basis, so if you really want to enter a masquerade, get your entry in early. And finally, section 6, post-registration stuff. This usually pertains to online registration styles, but on-site registrations may need some of these too. After you register, you should receive some kind of confirmation that you have been accepted. This may take a little while though, so don't freak out if you don't get a reply back right away. As it gets closer to the convention, you may be required to turn in additional materials. This includes things like music for your skit, video for your skit if the convention allows it, as well as progress pictures that show that you're working on the costume that you're going to be entering. Masquerade may also require you to sign up for a judging time as well as a tech rehearsal time. Again, these are on a first come, first served basis, so if you want a specific time, turn it in early. And the last item can only really be done on site, and that is signing a waiver form. This is just basically giving the convention permission to not only take photos and video of you, but to then use those photos and videos for promotional materials. And the organizers will always give this to you sometime before the masquerade starts. If you're a minor though, you may need your parent or guardian to sign off on that. So just keep that in mind. And that's my breakdown on the rules of Cosplay Masquerades. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have any questions, please feel free to tell me in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you want to see more cosplay content from me. If you want to see me dance, please check out my dance channel. And if you want to support me even more, feel free to leave a donation on Ko-fi. I'll see you guys in my next video. Until then, bye-bye!